You mean my kit? Yeah. That sounds like a password.
Well, we don't think too much about what competitors are doing.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's important to be just focused on making the best possible products. Maybe analogous to what they say about, you know, if you're in a race.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what the other runners are doing.
Yeah.
Just run.
Yeah. But, you know, to push that metaphor even more, are you afraid that whoever's hosting the race could tilt the race in favor of the Chinese racer?
I'm trying to figure out if there's any way to answer that question and not lose.
You get one pass during this interview. If you'd like to take the pass, you could take that pass.
I'll pass with that one.
Okay.
Before we get started, maybe you guys could tell me, what's the, how did the V get started, and
yeah, sure.
and yeah, what's your deal, and why are you in California?
We're getting interviews.
Patents, as you call them.
Yeah.
Now, a few months ago, you decided to open them up, make them open source
Right.
for some key areas of Tesla car development. What is the thinking behind?
all of our patents.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the thinking behind them?
I don't like patents personally. When I was first starting out developing technology, I got lots of patents, and I thought this was a good thing. And then I sort of discovered that a patent was really like buying a lottery ticket to a lawsuit. I was like, I'd rather not buy those tickets.
The world's actually pretty great right now. I mean, arguably better than any point in history. And this is sometimes lost. If you read the newspapers, they're like a magnification of all the world's problems. It's like, newspapers seem to be attempting to answer the question, what was the worst thing that happened on Earth today? Yeah, and it's...
Elon, the CNN reporter's here to talk to you.
Hang on. Send him in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the introduction.
Let's see. I think you're familiar with this gentleman.
Elon is all frozen today. He never got so much press attention in his life.
I'll tell you honestly, the book I'm reading, which I was sort of thinking, should I say this or not? But it's a book on Howard Hughes, which maybe a cautionary tale. I mean, he's sort of an interesting fellow. Definitely want to make sure I don't grow my fingernails too long and start peeing in jars.
You beat me to the line. I was just about to say. What?
We did the Roadster, and we actually got a lot of flack from people that thought, well, that the reason me and JB and Martin, Mark, and Ian, and everyone else, the reason that we'd created the company, they thought was because we felt that there was a shortage of sports cars for rich people.
During the Tesla earnings call, CEO Elon Musk was asked what he thought of BMW's new i3 electric car.
Well, I'm glad to see that BMW is bringing an electric car to market. That's cool. I think there's room to improve on the i3, and I hope that they do. My comments about other manufacturers. Sorry. Anyway, I think the key point I'm going to make is I really do encourage other manufacturers to bring electric cars to market, because this is a good thing, and they need to bring it to market and then keep iterating and improving and making better and better electric cars, and that's what's going to result in humanity achieving a sustainable transport future. I wish it was going faster than it is.
You weren't reward and punishment to be proportionate to the actions that you seek. So if what you're seeking is innovation, then you should reward success and innovation. Minor consequences for trying and failing. Those should be minor. With significant rewards for trying and succeeding, and major negative consequences for not trying. Then they should either not be promoted or exited. And let me tell you, you'll get promoted. You'll get innovation real fast.
Okay. Let's stick.
Yeah. It's like, how much do you want?
Yeah.
I won't tell you all the secrets, but just like you'll be able to see the difference very clearly. Okay. Raptor 2 is visibly cleaner than Raptor 1. Like it's this sort of maze of plumbing and wiring doesn't exist on Raptor 2.
Although it's already slimmed down a ton from like
you just look like a friggin' Christmas tree.
Yeah.
My wife left her purse on a chair, and now it won't stop telling me to bring it Han Solo.
Damn. Jabba the Hutt is the protagonist.
Yeah, I know.
From his point of view, why he was owed money.
Yeah, who are all these characters fucking with him? Leave the guy alone.
He was just trying to collect on some debts.
Yeah.
Do you plan to spend more time in Berlin yourself? You want to partly live here?
Yes, I'll be spending a lot of time here.
Where do you sleep tonight?
Tonight's in the factory.
In the factory, not in a hotel.
Well, technically in a conference room in the factory, but yeah.
You sleep in a conference room in the not finished factory tonight?
Yeah, it gives me a good feel for what's going on.
Alone or?
Yeah, I assume so. Is this an invitation? Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to get these guys to Florida, but it's hard to get people out of California. It really is.
Despite the state of California doing everything it can to encourage people to leave.
Yes, yeah.
I think you had one article about how Gavin Newsom is a U-Haul Salesman of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually true.
Probably true.
Actually true. Wow, I haven't even said anything. But like, you could power the entire United States with about, let's say, 150 to 200 square kilometers of solar panels. The entire United States. Take a corner of Utah. Not much going on there. I've been there. There's not even radio stations, okay?
You're obviously a very competitive person. You're competing with the likes of Jeff Bezos
Jeff who? I mean, the moon is closed, so we might as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might as well.
99.99% of the predictions that human being had in the history about the future, all wrong.
Including that one?
Oh yeah. Only, the 0.00% of the prediction are right. They're right because by accident.
Yeah, but it's also true that 80% of statistics are false.
Yeah. So my meaning is
cold room. Come on, guys. That was a joke.
Now that the Russians have said they're not going to give us rides anymore, how good is that for you?
Well,
can you step up and take over for the manned flights?
I mean, arguably, with enemies like that, who needs friends? But I suppose Russia is being helpful. Yeah, probably being helpful.
Did you think about sending them some flowers after they refused us a ride?
Sure.
So you're good at calculating the cost of things and stuff like that. So, like, would it be cheaper to become Batman or Iron Man, or just pay every criminal that you encounter a salary to just stop being a criminal?
I think they're trying.
I'd like to be Irony Man.
Irony Man.
I just defeat villains using the power of irony. It's like, oh, too much irony. I can't stand it. Please, no, stop the irony. I can't handle it anymore. I give up. I give up. Too much irony. That would be awesome.
That'd be totally awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be.
Don't make me use irony again.
The first launch of Falcon 1, we had a Falcon sat from the Air Force Academy. That rocket blew up, but but then the funny thing is that it blew up. Like this truth is stranger than fiction. The satellite was shot through the fairing, arced through the air a couple hundred meters, and then plunged through the roof of a tool shed, and then landed on the floor. And was actually in reasonably good shape. I mean, for crashing through the ceiling, but you're like recognizable, And we gave it back, and so we've not lost one of your satellites.
So from a SpaceX perspective,
buff it out.
a partial mission success.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not lost. I'm just saying.
Well, you were pretty mean to Senator Warren, though, on Twitter recently. You slammed her, man. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen.
She struck first, obviously.
Right.
Yes, she did.
She called me a freeloader and a grifter who doesn't pay taxes, basically. And I'm literally paying the most tax that any individual in history has ever paid this year, ever. And she doesn't pay taxes, basically at all. And her salary is paid for by the taxpayer, like me.
Could you even use? Could you use TurboTax? Would that even work?
If you could die by irony, she would be dead. If irony could kill. Like, why can't he fly if he's Batman? Bats can fly.
Yeah, that's true. He just
he glides.
He glides very effectively, though.
So he's really
but that's like a it's more like Flying Squirrel Man. Squirrel Man is less intimidating, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, Squirrel Man, he's gonna get us. Not Squirrel Man again.
You say, well, what are the examples of successful electric cars? I mean, we did have our Tesla Roadster out there, but they wrote that off as being something that's really low volume, kind of a niche product for techno geeks type of thing. So it's actually funny, because before we were able to get the Roadster out, then they'd say, well, you couldn't possibly make that car work. And then when we made the car work, they'd say, well, nobody's going to buy it. And then people bought it. And then we announced the Model S, and so many people called bullshit on that. It was ridiculous. And yet, actually, we were able to bring it to market. And then when we brought it to market, they said, well, you're never going to be able to produce it at volume. And we did that. And then they said, you will never be able to make a profit. And then we did that in Q1. So I'm hopeful that people will observe that there's a trend here.
We should make candy. You just call somebody, and like, what are the steps that suddenly take place when you're like, because you do so many things. I'm just fascinated by what that process looks like.
Rockets.
You got a guy you call, Jim, I want to make candy. Make it happen.
I think I did ask for people on Twitter to send me candy that they thought was good.
Deployed.
And I was like, well, what if some of this candy is it's poisonous or something? But whatever, candy from strangers on the internet. Yeah. It could go wrong. It's not 100% safe. But I did try a whole bunch of candy sent from strangers. So we need to watch out about population collapse. Low birth rate, I think, is a big risk. And it's also not exactly top secret. You can go look at the Wikipedia, birth rate. It would be a sad ending, where the average age becomes very high, and really the youth are effectively de facto enslaved to take care of the old people. This is not a good way to end.
Do you have any new projects dealing with these topics that you've just addressed?
Well, I'm trying to set a good example on the kid front.
6 kids.
Yes.
Not bad. Room for improvement.
Sometimes people ask me about fusion, and I like it as an idea. And by the way, I think it's totally doable. But there's a giant fusion reactor in the sky that shows up every morning, and zero maintenance. So I'm like, sounds like a good deal, or just catch a little bit of that sunlight and power Earth.
The bigness of the project, because there's been the industry's been littered with electric car funerals, essentially, and
Sure.
not as many candlelight vigils, obviously. But
Right. There've been many car company failures, not just electric, of course. Honestly, if I had like $1 for every time somebody brought up DeLorean or Tucker, I wouldn't need an IPO.
Mhm.
That would have been perfectly financed just on that alone.